Let's speak to Arsenal journalist for the Gooner fans, Izzy Gilligan. Evening, Izzy. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Well, not as well as you Arsenal fans at the minute. It must be all is well in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good at the moment, topping that table, and I think just a pretty good run of form. So, yeah, it's an exciting place to be.
Well, form is an interesting word, isn't it, Izzy? And just how well do you think Arsenal playing take away set pieces out of it? Because they're winning games, they're not conceding goals. It's brilliant. Their away fans, I was there, they were singing 1-0 to the Arsenal. It was back to George Graham days, wasn't it? But I'm just wondering how much, you're looking at the actual play during the pitch. Do you think there's room for improvement there?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's always room for improvement. But, Arsenal getting 3 points, it wasn't the most exciting game of the season against Fulham, but an important 3 points for Arsenal there. Back at the top of the table, Bournemouth took over for a couple of minutes there, but they really struggled at Craven Cottage in previous seasons, dropping points there in their last 2 visits. So I think Arsenal fans are just happy that they're not slipping up on these games where they maybe historically haven't performed as well. So I think no matter where the goals are coming from, set pieces or not, a goal's a goal, 3 points are 3 points, and they're on their way.
And you touched on it there, Izzy, and it is an interesting point that last season maybe not have been the big games which cost them, but it was the games where you're thinking champions get 3 points here, and you look at the games against Fulham, the couple of home and away, and then say here against, not here, but at the Emirates against West Ham, points drop there. These are barriers that they are getting over this season, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you win these titles. And that's what Arsenal have got to do. It's what they've struggled with, as we've just said, in previous years. And they slipped up against West Ham before. They beat them this season. They slipped up at Newcastle away. They've managed to win there this season. And they've had some quite difficult away fixtures already under their belt. So they've done St James's Park, Old Trafford, Anfield. So now heading into a slightly easier run of matches. And this is where Arsenal and Mikel Arteta have got to capitalise and try and get as many points on the board as possible.
And you're just looking and saying, right, OK, well, yep, they're playing not as well as they could. Do you think that will come, or does it worry you to say when it does come to the crunch and maybe, heaven forbid, Saka gets injured, Declan Rice gets injured, lesser set-piece takers are playing, then and the results dry up? Do you think that form needs to be worked on during games, because there are so many games now? Or do you think, look, we're just going to have to take these games and grind them out? It is going to be a grind of a season.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's so many matches in a Premier League season, and Arsenal have really got to do as well as they can where they can. And you can't plan for these injuries that hypothetically might happen. You've just got to go with who you've got available. And Arsenal's work in the transfer window was good this summer, kind of building that competition for various positions on the pitch. So you've got these backup players to come in and take over should those injuries happen. But yeah, I mean, as you said there, Saka and Declan Rice, 2 of the league's best set-piece takers. But you've also got some really amazing defenders. Arsenal conceding only 3 goals in the Premier League this season, and defences can win you these titles as well, so that's equally as important, I'd say.
And you touched on the defence there. I just wanted to touch on one player that came in the summer, and Gyökeres. He's not really firing on all cylinders. I've watched him on Saturday, obviously. He's making good runs. He's making the movements. He's nearly there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is nearly there, and I think, he's still bedding in. He's not been there for ages, and Arsenal are not completely used to playing with that kind of number 9, and it's something that everyone's going to have to get used to. He is having more chances. I saw against Fulham, he had a couple of quite promising shots, and I don't think Arsenal fans are too mad at him right now because of the way that the team is playing, but he might have to start scoring those goals and converting those chances if things don't go as planned in the next few weeks. But yeah, I do think he's getting used to it. He's doing some really important work off the ball. He pinned Fulham's defenders. He kind of takes a bit of pressure off Saka. Some great work rate, and I think he's really shaping up to be a good player, and I think Arsenal fans and clearly the staff and Mikel Arteta are all backing him.
Well, Izzy, he was actually asked about that. I mean, in quite a sort of gentle way, Mikel Arteta on Saturday after the game about Victor Gyökeres. I mean, I know he's got 3 goals, but he was asked, at some point, is he going to go off? Is this? He's going to find that form. He's going to start hitting the back of the net, and we do see this with strikers, don't we? It sometimes takes a while. to get into that rhythm and work out how they're playing with their teammates. But it's interesting that the narrative was already being hinted at with Mikel Arteta. You know, you're still confident with him. You're okay. You're okay with him.
And is you looking at another busy period coming up? We're just talking to James Scowcross with his games for Crystal Palace that they're looking at, and you're looking at these, and you're just looking at them saying, fingers crossed, everyone stays fit and grind out a few more 1-0s, or you're hoping for a bit more, as you said, as the fixtures get a little bit easier in the Premier League?
Yeah, they do get a little bit easier, but look, going away to Burnley, away to Sunderland, Stadium Light, not an easy place to go, and Sunderland have been doing really well there this season. So, yeah, I think it's just about whether it's 1-0 or 5-0, a win is a win, as I said earlier, and Arsenal will just want to grind out these results because it's such a long season, and they just need to do as well as they can whilst most people are fit and they've got the form going.
And Izzy, you've got the small matter of Atletico Madrid tomorrow, and that should be some game, shouldn't it, with Simeone and his antics on the touchline, and Simeone on the pitch, his son, giving more antics, more Simeone than Simeone himself. So, well, in Europe as well, went close, pushed PSG close last season. Do you feel with the strength in depth now that they're better equipped, Arsenal, for this season, or do you feel, the Premier League is the main aim?
Well, obviously the Premier League is a big aim for Arsenal, but last season they just got a bit of a taste of that Champions League success, I think, and such amazing matches like that Real Madrid fixture, well, both at the Bernabeu and at the Emirates. So I think that they will want to go and perform in Europe once again. And yeah, that depth that they've added in the summer and those players being fit is so important for this European run. And having Atletico Madrid at the Emirates tomorrow night, it'll be very exciting. And I think that these are the kind of games Arsenal want to be playing and challenging in, and it's all to play for sure.
So when it gets to April and you're looking at Champions League semi-finals or maybe 6 points for the Premier League, what are you picking? Which one are you have to take a pick? Which one are you going for?
I don't know. I think you've got to look at which fixtures you've got left. I mean, you just couldn't choose between the two, could you?
Well, I know which one I'd go for. Give me the Premier League any day, and we can fight for the Europe another season. No, there we go. No, I think
it's got to be the year.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting proposition, and you're looking at Arsenal now, and out of anyone, strength in depth, they're equipped, and looking at over your shoulders, and you're feeling that other teams have greater issues right now, don't they?
Yeah, definitely, and I think 3 losses in a row for Liverpool in the Premier League. Arsenal will just be licking their lips at how exciting that is. It's just, it's given them a real chance. It's given them a cushion. Liverpool have got some defensive issues, and that's not something Arsenal are struggling with. So that's exactly what you want to see happening to these title rivals. Obviously, you've got Manchester City closing in as well, but seems to be that the main discourse is around Liverpool, because of course they're the holding champions. So yeah, but Arsenal have had some tricky fixtures to open the season, and now it's about getting the points where you're expected to get them rather than where it's kind of going to be tougher.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Izzy.